So now, which bracket term we should keep it to the new variable. If you have t minus tau in the bracket of h2 or h1, we should not touch that, you should not disturb that. So I am just assuming tau minus mu as eta. So now, if you do that, I'm going to do the a differentiation of eta. So when I do the differentiation of eta, then I will get d. So this differentiation, let me do it later. First, let me do the substitution. So after substitution only you will come to know. Okay, listen everyone. So y of t is equal to integration minus infinity plus infinity. So from the previous equation, I'm taking x mu, and I'm just arranging the I am changing the order of integration. So I x mu, I'm arranging it with one integration, and I have one more integration. So along with that integration, I know tau minus mu is nothing but eta as per our assumption. So it is h1 of eta, h1 of eta, and now you tell me here in h2 of t minus tau, h2 of t minus tau, I can replace with the new variable eta. So if I rearrange this, from this term, I can write my tau is equal to eta plus mu. Tau is equal to eta plus mu. So this substitution I am going to do it in place of tau here in h2 of t minus tau. So I will tell you why we are doing all these things. Finally, we want to get the output y of t is equal to x of t convolution with h of t. So for that purpose, we are going to just compress everything together. So one such compression or simplification is the substitution method. So here in place of tau, I am going to replace with eta plus mu. So if I replace with eta plus mu, will I get t minus of, because we have minus here, minus of eta, then minus of mu. So originally it is e minus of, in place of tau you will substitute eta plus mu. So once you remove the bracket, you will be getting t minus eta minus mu, t minus eta minus mu. And here, yes, so after rearranging this, listen, I am just doing the differentiation of d tau. So when I do the differentiation of d tau, it becomes d eta, and this mu will consider as a constant term. So d tau is now replaced with eta. So why I am going to replace d tau with d eta? Because in this equation, if you see, you do not have any tau term. All the tau terms we have already replaced. So one term was there here, tau minus mu. The tau minus mu, we kept it as eta. So here this tau is missing. And even in h2 of t minus tau, even this tau also is missing, because I have replaced with eta plus mu. So all the taus are missing. So as per the earlier equation, I have I have tau here, d tau here. So I should not now write d tau. So when I do the differentiation of this, tau is equal to eta plus mu, I will get d tau is equal to d eta. So this d tau is now replaced with d eta, and I am just arranging this d eta only for this impulse response integration, and I have one more integration with x of nu outside. So for that x of nu, I have one d nu left in the previous equation, that I am putting it. So now, if you see the structure is like this. So I have this integration and x mu combo with this d mu, and here d eta is for this integration. Have any doubts in this? Is it okay?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now I want to analyze. I want to analyze this term. This term I want to simplify it, because my final output should have only one h of t. But here I have two h values. So I should somehow simplify it. So how to simplify it? So to simplify this, I am just writing here integration minus infinity to plus infinity h1 of eta. H1 of eta is multiplied with h2 of t minus eta minus mu into d eta. So this I have to simplify it to the single variable of h. So, this is like a convolution formula. As I have already told let me write it again. So, y of t is equal to, if it is x of t convolution with h of t, then how it is written? So, I will write it here. It is y of t is equal to y of t is equal to integral, so minus into plus infinity, x of tau into h of t minus tau into deta. Okay, so now listen carefully. We are just going to compare this equation, the standard equation formula, with this equation, and we are going to come to one conclusion. So the conclusion is, see here, if it is tau, and here we have tau. So here I have eta. And here also I have eta. So now in this, I should make eta separate. So how to make eta separate? Can I combine t minus mu minus eta? Can I write like that? Are you following this, or can you see the screen properly? I think you're getting the analogy.
Yes.
Analogy is, so as per that's why I have written the standard equation. My standard equation, what it says, I have x of tau and h of t minus tau, this tau and theta. So these three things should match. So if I see here, I have eta term separately present, and I have d eta term. So only problem is here I have number of variables. So this I have to arrange it with minus eta. So what is the possibility of arrangement? My arrangement is t minus mu minus eta. So if it is like this, then what I write at the left hand side, I will write the left out term. The left out term is t here, h of t. So this t will be my output variable y of t. So now can anybody tell me what I am trying to convey here is, what will be my output? Can anybody? So what should be there within the bracket of h here? Because here both are h only. So my output is also h. So what should be there inside the bracket of h? Can anybody guess and tell me?
T minus mu, ma.
Very good, very good. T minus mu. I hope you are all understanding this. T minus mu. So I have given the comparison using the standard equation. Okay. So T minus mu is the answer, perfect answer. So now I have written here in my screen. Okay. You can see in the screen. I'll just little scroll it up. So I have written h of t minus mu, as you said, which is equal to the integration of minus infinity to plus infinity h1 of eta, h2 of t minus mu minus eta d eta. So now what is my aim? My aim is to write my output y of t. So now using this simplification, I can write my output y of t. This equation I can write it as, this equation is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x mu, that will be same, and this complete h term I have written in terms of h of t minus mu. So I have written here h of t minus mu into d mu. I think here you do not have any doubts here. So I successfully got my output y of t is equal to x of mu into h of t minus mu into d mu. So or you can say that this h of t minus mu you are substituting in the y of t equation so that you are getting the new y of t equation. So now again with respect to the similar analogy, x of t convolution with y of t is equal to x of t convolution with um, h of t. The same analogy comparison I'm going to do. If it is like this, my integration is x of tau into h of t minus tau d tau. So if I compare here, so in my new equation, so see tau. Okay, this tau is not reflected at the left hand side. What is reflected at the left hand side? Whatever is there here in the bracket of h of t minus tau, along with minus tau, t is there. So that term is reflected at the left hand side. In the same way, if I see here gamma, sorry, it is not gamma, mu, okay. So this will not reflect in my output variable y of, so this bracket term will be reflected with whatever term is present along with this minus mu. So t is the variable. So I will write the left hand side t, and this complete thing I can write it as y of t is equal to x of t convolution with h of t. So this complete term is equal to y of t convolution with h of t. In the same way, so this equation I can return as y of t is equal to x of t convolution with h of t. Do you have any doubts in this? So
No, ma'am.
instead of tau here, it is with mu. That's it. So with all these steps, what I try to get here is my y of t is x of t convolution with h of t. What is h of t in turn? It is over here. It is nothing but the convolution of two impulse responses. So the conclusion here is, if the system is connected in series, then the total impulse response is nothing but the convolution of two impulse responses. So that is the conclusion here. So that sentence I have written here, you can see in the screen. The impulse response of the equivalent system, that means the total response, impulse response of an equivalent system is nothing but the total impulse response of the system having two LTA systems connected in cascade is nothing but the convolution of the individual impulse responses. I hope you are understanding this. Whereas in the previous topic, parallel connection, what is the sentence I have given here? It is nothing but the sum of the individual responses. Whereas here, it is a convolution of the individual responses. Is this clear? Shall I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, now in the parallel connection, we have discussed a property that possesses distributive property. Similarly, for series connection or cascade connection, it also possesses some property. The first property is associative property. Associative property, you have studied in mathematics or basic electronics. So here, A into B into C is equal to, associative means the bracket you will be changing it, that's it. The order of operation, that's it. So A into B into C is within the bracket. This is the associative property. So for the cascade connection of systems, the property which is applicable is the associative property. So the associative, as per the associative property, I can write x of t convolution with h1 of t. These two is now here in the bracket at the left hand side. Convolution with h2 of t, which is equal to x of t convolution with both the impulse responses within the bracket. So I hope you are understanding this associative property. So this is the property which is applicable for the series connection, cascade connection. And one more thing I have told earlier, what is the thing is, H1 and H2, it can be arranged in any order. Okay, it can be arranged in any order. So let me write here separately. H1 of t convolution with H2 of t is equal to H2 of t convolution with H2 of t convolution with H1 of t. Can anybody tell me what is this property called? We have totally three properties: distributive property, associative property, and one more property is there. Anybody remembers that?
Commutative
Commutative.
property.
Very good, very good. Commutative property. So I can say for cascade connection of two LTI systems, there are two properties applicable. One is associative property, other one is commutative property. So with this, your system interconnection topic as per the syllabus is completed. The first topic. Okay. So as I said, this module you have more theory part like this, theory part and the discussion of equations, and you have limited problems here. It is not like the first module and second module. So this third module, no, easily you can score. Normally each question they ask for 20 marks from each module. So easily you can score at least minimum of 10 marks. So you will get 10 marks for the theory. Theory means like this, the properties and whatever we will discuss in future. So 10 marks, I can say it is theory one, and remaining 10 marks for the complete problem. Even the R option is also like that. 10 marks for the theory and 10 marks for the problem. So 100% you can score 10 marks because easily you can study the theory part. Whereas in the first module and second module, I cannot predict and I cannot say like that. 100% 10 marks will be for theory and 10 marks will be for the problems. Because the first module and second module, they give much priority for the problems than the theory. So in the first two problems, you may get theory only for 5 marks and you will get 15 marks for the problems. So whereas in third module, the split up is equal 50-50. Okay. So now see, because the cascade connection possesses commutative property, you can see here in this equation, x of t convolution with h1 into h2 is equal to x of t convolution with h2 h1. This order I have changed it. That's it. Because of the commutative property. Okay. So now finally, yeah, that's it. And so far I have written the properties of associative and commutative only for the continuous time signal. I should write it for the discrete time system also. So discrete time system I have written here. So with this, I stop today. So the properties question they will ask only in third module. If they ask properties in second module, if you are not aware of that, so that is not there in the syllabus, they will allot the marks in the exam. In previous scheme, you had